All right. Hey guys. How's everybody doing? All right, let's see. I just need to see myself on the screen first. All right, there it is. All right, there it is. How's everybody doing? Okay. What? Why did your husband hate it? We're talking about Obsession, guys. If you haven't watched the movie Obsession, it is so good. You have to watch it. It has so many layers. If you haven't, I recommend it. I recommend it. Okay. So Boops watched Obsession. Husband hated it. Gonna Oh, okay, you want me to watch Sling Blade, or at least a part of it so you can hear the Ronnie mumble? Okay. Yeah, I do wanna hear the Ronnie mumble. Sling Blade. I don't know why he hated it, but he really didn't like it. Does he just not like scary movies? Is that it? He just doesn't like scary movies? What about the movie did he not like? Is it the jump scares? I don't know, the pacing? Has anybody else watched the movie? Have you guys watched it yet? Obsession. It is so good. I am I am obsessed with Obsession. It just has so many layers. It is if I were to ever make a movie, it would be something like that, right? Cuz that's just how my brain thinks. And I like to add little things like in the scene. I don't know if you guys know this, but in my first Nicole Kessinger series, there are so many hidden images in there. So I don't know if you guys have found them, but I would do something like that. Yeah, my first the entire first series, I would put little funny things in there to see if you guys can find it. So for example, there's in one of the videos, I think it's one of the last ones. I don't know if it's video 6 or 7 or maybe even 8. I hid some little animals in one of the photos of Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger. So I wanted to see if you guys if you guys find them. I don't know, he was in a bad mood, so maybe he just didn't like it. Okay. Oh, well. Well, maybe if he's in a better mood, he'll like it. Obsession was a great psychological thriller. You saw it, Tommy's Girl? It's really good, isn't it? Oh, TK, you have to watch it. It's so good. It is so good. I think an important movie to make. It's an education on narcissism. Exactly. It really is. I think it touches on narcissism as well as entitlement. I think when it comes to entitlement, it is such a good movie because it really shows you how a person thinks, right? I mean, you know, if you guys I don't wanna ruin it for you unless you've already seen the last live stream, but, the man that is making the wish, he's making the wish based on what he believes love is, right? And so he wishes for somebody to love him the way that he would obsess over somebody, and so that's exactly what we see. And it's just so incredible. It is such a really, really well-made movie. A lot of people don't like it, though. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I hate it. I didn't get it. It wasn't even that good." I thought it was good. Even if you just watch it without, analyzing it so much, I think it's still a really good movie because the acting is incredible. Oh my goodness. The Nikki girl, what is her name? Indy, Navarrete? She is so good. Right. Yeah, I say narcissism because he love bombed. Exactly. Then he devalued, then got bored, and then discarded. Exactly. Tommy's girl. Yes. Yes. All of it. Yeah, it's narcissism. It's entitlement. It's ego, right? It is delusion, self-delusion, low self-esteem. All of these things together is what really made this wish become what it was. A lot of people think that the One Wish Willow itself is evil, and it's not even that it's evil. The One Wish Willow itself was not evil. The wish was evil. What Bear wished for in and of itself is evil. But man, it is such a good movie. Such a good movie. Yeah, I'm happy making out on my own, right? Yeah. Narcissists are always entitled. Exactly. Yeah, they are. They really are. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hey, Kay. How are you? Maybe my husband put a spell on me 30 years ago and I still haven't figured it out. And it triggered him. Oh no. Oh no. Did you guys see though there were these men that were drugging their wives and then filming them and posting it online? Oh, this is also what this reminds me of. It reminds me of the movie Obsession. It reminds me of um, like drugs, roofies, like getting roofied, being taken advantage of. It is just so scary on so many levels, so many levels. And it's too real. And I think that that's why I thought it was a really scary movie because it's real. When we talk about all the murderers, and all the crazy people on the channel, that's why it's scary because you don't even know, right? The thing is, these people don't show you their true colors until you actually let your guard down. And so it is when you're living with them, it is when you've interacted with them for so many months, even years, that they end up showing you their true colors. And that's why it's so scary because you can't pick them out from the crowd. They just are. And oh my goodness, it's so scary. Yes, yes, yes. He idealized let's see, I just wanna bring this up. He idealized, which is what narcissists always do. Then when they see their supply isn't perfect, they begin devaluing and discarding. Yeah. See, the thing with that is it's perfect because Bear idealized her, right? Like he had this fantasy in his brain. He thought, "Oh, I think I love her," right? But he didn't. He didn't even know her. He didn't know anything about her. He didn't even know that her dad wasn't really, that her and her dad were not even close. And so he had a fantasy about her, and once he realized that the fantasy is not reality, he ended up devaluing her. And we even see the portion or the part where he goes back to the other girl, Sarah, to the other coworker, and he starts flirting with her. He was madly in love and obsessed with Nikki, but he still goes back to the other girl because he sees, "Oh, okay, like, the fantasy isn't really," or the reality isn't what the fantasy was, and so then he eventually ended up discarding her. It is so sad. So, so sad. Hello, hey, no name. My narcissistic ex-spouse died at 46 in a DUI. Uh, what? In a DUI? Oh my goodness. Just jumped on. Hey, Wolf baby. Hello, hello. We are just getting started here. We started talking about obsession. Boops brought it up that her husband didn't like it. And so we just started talking about obsession. It's kind of yeah, that's kind of where we're going right now. But I did like the other idea of looking at scary stuff. I'm always down for scary stuff, you guys. I can watch scary stuff, funny stuff, scams, you know, uh supernatural things, anything like that. Hmm. Yeah, how did that happen? How of course, if you don't wanna share, you don't have to. But yeah, exactly, yeah, Tommy's Girl, it's the fantasy. I lived it, not sure what I oof, I wanna relive it in film. Ooh, I get it, I get it. Smart survival. Yeah, it was a little too close to home for me as well. My last relationship was a little similar to it. I felt trapped. I couldn't really I couldn't really get out of it. I felt I was gaslit for so many years and I didn't even know it. It's so crazy. Now that I think about it, it took me many years to get over it. It is a reason why I was really down for so many years. I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 years. I was really, really depressed, and it's because of that. I was just in a relationship where I didn't realize that I was being gaslit, lied to, and devalued and controlled in a very subtle way. It was very subtle. And the thing is, because it's so different from how I was treated at home by my own mom. My mom was very, it was just it was very blatant, right? Like that type of abuse was just very obvious. And so when I ended up in this relationship, I thought, "Oh, like this is what love really is because I'm not getting abused in the way that I knew abuse to be, right? Like the stereotypical idea of what abuse was. And so because of it, I was just in a it was just very subtle and I didn't know. And I didn't know I was feeling a certain way. I felt trapped. I felt unhappy. I couldn't really talk to my friends. I couldn't go out. I couldn't even talk to my own family and I didn't realize it. And it was so scary. And so when I watched the movie Obsession, it kinda just brought it all back. Although, of course, right, Obsession, it's a horror film, so there's all these, supernatural aspects to it, but the message itself, right, the premise is taking someone's agency from them and controlling them and molding them to be what they want you to be, and so you end up becoming a person for them, but that's not really who you are, and you just struggle with it internally, and it's just so weird. So, so weird. I was isolated, yeah. I was. I was isolated in a it was a really weird way though, right? It was like it wasn't too obvious. So it was more like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to my friend's party," right? Or you're like, "Oh, it's my friend's birthday. I'm gonna go hang out." And so I would go, right? Because I was allowed to, right? Like, "Oh, yeah, okay, uh-huh, go." But then when I came back, it was silence, ignoring, right? Stonewalling, making me feel guilty about having gone to the party. But the thing is that these things would happen later, right? So I would come home, everything was fine. And then 2 days later, it was like, oh, well, if you had been here on Saturday, maybe this wouldn't have happened to me, but it's just that you care more about being with your friends than being with me, and it's just so unfair that you'd rather put your friends instead of me. It's like that kind of guilt trip that would happen afterwards. And I think it was so successful because it wasn't right away. I would come home and it seemed fine, even though it wasn't really. It wasn't really fine. I'd come home and it was just strange. And it was just weeks later that it would be brought up. "Oh, yeah, you remember that one time you abandoned me to go to the party with your friends?" And I'm like, "Oh my god. That happened like 2 weeks ago. Are you salty about that? Why didn't you just tell me, right? Like, why didn't you just talk to me about it? Let's have a conversation. Why do you feel this way, right? I invited you. Why didn't you wanna go?" And this was the other thing too. It's that, everything we would do together, but there were times where I would just go by myself, right? Because there was some kind of argument or something happened, and so I would end up going by myself, and then I got it, right? I would end up getting guilt tripped for that, for having gone by myself, and it's like, "Okay, well, you didn't even wanna go in the first place. You don't even like my friends." So it was a weird isolation where it wasn't so obvious, and I think that's why it took me 8 years to realize that I was trapped in a very toxic relationship. Yeah. Oof. Yes, yeah, it was later. Yes, I got punished for it later. It's so I know, I'm laughing about it now, it's not funny, but that's how it happened, and the thing is that in therapy, you realize that these things are happening when you talk about it in therapy. When you're talking about it in therapy, the therapist tells you, "Oh, wait, hold on, that's not right." And then you start to realize, "Oh, you know what? You are right. That isn't okay." And so, yeah, it just took me a while. It really took me a while. Oh god. Yeah, he used it later to gaslight you and flip your arguments. Yes, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's almost like the things that I did were kind of being, written down, right? Like, there was a list of things that I would do, and then later they would be brought up, and it's like, "Oh, yeah, in March of 2018, you did this to me, and so because of that, I don't wanna do this for you now." It was so strange, it was so manipulative, and I realized I was lashing out in my own way, right? Like, I would get really angry, I would start crying, I would even, just like little things, I noticed myself behaving in a certain way, and I'm like, why am I feeling so miserable? Like, what is wrong with me? And it was that. But it's because it was so subtle, and it took a while for these things to be brought up that I didn't realize it. I just did not realize it. It's just normalized, right? Yeah, exactly. We normalize this stuff forever. Yeah, we just see it. Yeah, we never see it as something that is not normal. Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once you step away from it, you realize, "Oh, that was not a good relationship." And it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah. Oh, man. There were so many things that I couldn't do. I mean, I even got guilt tripped for going to grad school. I really wanted, I applied for a master's degree, and there was no celebration when I got accepted. It was always just so negative. Like I was never celebrated for the things that I accomplished. Um and I got guilt tripped, like, "Oh, stop going to school. Why are you even going to school? School's for stupid people. Why don't you just get a job?" Is that kinda stuff, right? And then I ended up getting a job, and the job wasn't good. And it's like, "Oh, that job isn't good enough. Get a better job because I'm the one working the most." And it was always a competition. It always felt like a competition. If my job was better or if I made more money, it just wasn't good, right? I couldn't make more money. I had to make less money. But then if I made less money, it also wasn't good because then I wasn't contributing enough or it wasn't equal. It just there was no winning. That's the thing, is there was no winning. And anything that I ever wanted to do, whether I wanted to go to grad school, whether I even, I wanted to start a YouTube channel, if I wanted to paint, everything was not good. Like, "Oh, well, is painting making you money? No? Okay, well then you can't do that. You should probably go out and get a job." And it was this back and forth, back and forth, and I just couldn't figure it out. We even did, couples counseling, and in couples counseling, we got nowhere, nowhere. We did couples counseling maybe for, like, 6 months, and it just ended up being useless because nothing ever came from it. Everything was my fault, always, for some reason. Hmm. Wow. Your friends might have even say, "Oh, that's normal because it's their experience." Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's never good enough. Yeah. Yeah, there's no winning. Exactly. Oof, man. Yeah. And so that's why that movie really, really hit me. And I'm really glad that the movie was made because, a lot of people need to see it. And just to see that it's not normal, right? It's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to have your separate friends because that's another thing too, right? A lot of toxic relationships, they are so codependent. If if your partner doesn't want you to do something without them, then you can't do it without them, right? And if they don't like your friends, then if you go out and see your friends, they see that as a betrayal. So it's just, I don't know. I think they were a narcissist. I'm pretty sure. My ex even said, actually, I build you up to tear you down. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Tommy's girl. Hmm. I was I was told that actually. Yeah, my ex did say that to me, not in the same way, but similar. That I that oh, you're so smart, but I don't want to tell you to your face because you would leave me, like stuff like that, or like, oh, you're just so good that I don't ever want to compliment you because I don't want you to get a big head. What? How is that love? If you love your partner and you're proud of them for what they do and the things they accomplish, then you celebrate them. That is how you show that you're a partnership and that you support your partner. But by telling them, "Oh, I don't want to tell you how great you are because if I tell you, you might leave me." How does that work? It is the complete opposite. I'm if you're telling me, if you're celebrating me and loving me and all this stuff, I'm not going to leave. It's the complete opposite. If you treat me like shit, I'm gonna leave, right? If you isolate me, if you keep me away from my friends and my family, that's when I'm gonna leave. If you don't even allow me to hike even, right? Even hiking was a big deal. For me, I've talked about it, on the channel where hiking, I used to hike a lot, and I realized that I hiked because it was my escape, as sad as it is. I would hike because I felt that that was the only thing that I can do by myself, where I didn't really have to fight it, it wasn't a friend that I wanted to go see or it wasn't family. It was just an activity, right? I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna go hiking. Do you wanna go?" "Nah, I hate hiking." "Okay, fine. I'm gonna go by myself then." So it was the only escape that I got. And I think being out in nature, it gave me so much time to think and reflect and have time for myself. And so I used to hike all the time because it was my escape from that relationship, and I didn't even know it. And once that became a problem, okay, like once hiking became too much, that is when I realized, "Oh, hell no. You're gonna take away my only escape from you? This is not it. This is no longer working." And I think that's when I realized that if my only escape was gone, I would be trapped forever. And so that's when I left. That's when I decided, okay, this relationship is not going anywhere. 8 years. 8 years, and I was with a narcissist, a covert narcissist, and I didn't even know it. I didn't know it. It's so crazy, but, I wasn't allowed to have friends. Mm, or a job. Oh my god. Yeah, see, that is straight control. When you're not even allowed to have a job, that is when they're trying to control you. They're trying to keep you in the home so that you're not able to leave at all, and they can see you. It's like do you guys know what the panopticon is? It's like I had to have my location on all the time. It is oh, when I think about it, I'm getting, like, sweaty. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. It's just it does something. I haven't really talked about this, in such a long time. I don't even talk about it with my therapist anymore because I've moved past it now. At this point, I'm completely moved past it, and every time I revisit it, it just does things to me. Yeah, let's not talk about this anymore. But I think that's why I Obsession was such a good movie because I just really related to it. I saw how my own autonomy was taken from me, and I didn't know. I almost willingly gave it up. It's so strange. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the horses. Aw, okay. The horses were my escape, spent hours with them. Aw. Yeah, my cats stayed with me. I kept my cats. My cats were in the relationship. And that was the other thing too, I thought it was so weird, is that there were no shits given for the cats. Once the relationship ended, it's like, "Okay, well, bye." And I'm like, "Okay, like, do you even care to talk t like, do you wanna see the cats? Like, these cats, they're our babies, like, we got these babies together, we even talked about having kids, like, actual kids. Um, I'm glad I didn't. I would be trapped for real. But even that, right? It's like, you just abandon your cats like that? Would you have abandoned your kids? Right? These are the things I think about. It, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, they want you to be totally dependent on them so you won't leave. It gives you a sore stomach. Yeah. I'm doing so much better now. I would not be able to do any of the things that I'm doing now if I was still in that relationship because I would be getting put down constantly. I would probably be told like, "Oh, that's stupid what you're doing. You should not be doing that. You should probably go get a job." But then I get a job and the job isn't good enough. "Oh, no, you're making too much. You can't be making more than me. You're devaluing me by making more than me. Go make less." And so then I make less. And less is not enough. "Oh, you're not working hard enough. I'm the one paying all the bills." No, you're not. No, you're not. Are you delusional? Just there's no winning. Nope. Yeah, Tommy's girl, no. He didn't want the cats. No cats. Oh, the cats. Oh, fuck the cats. Oh, what? These were our babies. Like, I was with a narcissist. It was a narcissist I was with. It was so crazy. And I didn't know it. You guys, I didn't know it. I was the one with the job he didn't work. Oh, I think it's worse, right? When they're not even the ones working, but they're still kind of controlling you. It's like, how are you even doing this? Because it did happen to me too. Like for a little while, I was the only one bringing in the money. I was making all the cash, paying most of the bills, paying the truck even, right? I'm here with my own car and I'm also having to pay a separate truck that I'm not even driving. And I'm like, how am I doing this? Like, why am I doing all of this? Where's the fairness here? There is no fairness. There was no equality. That was not a partnership. It was very one way. It, mm. I had a job and he told my boss to quit without me knowing. Oh my goodness. How does that happen? These guys are actually dangerous. Yeah. Rock's exactly right. Everything they tried to take from you, you come out stronger for it. Yeah, you have accomplished everything we tried to. Yeah, exactly. They tried to take from you. Yeah. Yeah, once you get to the other side, you end up stronger because now you can tell, right? I think it was a learning lesson for me. I will say I don't regret it. The parts of it I do regret, but I don't regret the overall relationship because I learned so much from it. I learned about myself, even. That is when I started doing therapy, and I just learned. I just learned so much about people and myself. And I think most importantly, myself. Because I don't think that I was even really allowed to think too much about myself because I was too worried about pissing them off, you know? And all the things that I wanted to do, I just thought, okay, maybe I'll just do them later because it might piss them off. Isn't that crazy? Um, there's even this, I had I was gonna take a trip to Argentina through my college program. It was gonna be a summer. I couldn't go. I couldn't go. Not because I was told straight up, right? Not because I was told, "Hey, you can't go." No, it wasn't like that. It was like, "Oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna go study abroad in Argentina? Oh, okay. So what? So you're just gonna like abandon me and the cats?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not abandoning anybody. This is the trip of a lifetime. This is a really good opportunity to study abroad, to learn more about different cultures, go to a different university, stuff like that." And it was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Yeah, you should definitely do that. Yeah, go ahead and do that and abandon your family. Who knows, when you come back, we might not be here." And so, yeah, I wasn't told directly, "You can't go," but they're basically telling me I can't go. So you're saying I can't go because if I go, you're gonna leave and you're gonna take my cats, right? So it was a threat. There was always a threat. There was always some type of ultimatum, right? Like, "Oh, if you go, we might not be here when you get back. Oh, are you gonna go there to like find other people to hang out with?" It was always so gross. It was such a such a gross relationship. I'm so glad I'm out of it. I've been out of it now for how many years? 5? It's been 5 years, you guys, and I'm doing so much better. Can you guys tell? I would not have YouTube. I would not be doing any of this, you guys, because I would be trying to figure out how not to piss people off. Oh, goodness. Yeah, they threaten you nicely. Yeah, this is a very nice threat. Here, let me tell you that I'm gonna leave you if you end up going to Argentina to study abroad. It was only, what, 2 months? 2, 3 months maybe? It was a summer, so it started in June, and then the semester picked it back up in August. So yeah, it was only 2 months. That's it. What, you can't be without me for 2 months? Come on. It's not like it was 10,000 years. Huh. I wish I could have had this community when I was going through this. Oh, woof baby. Right. I felt crazy, but knew something wasn't right. Exactly, right? Yeah, you know something isn't right, but you feel crazy for it because you're being gaslit. You're being told that you're the problem, and you're trying to figure out, and you're like, How am I the problem? Like, what am I doing wrong?" But it's the thing, it's just there's no winning. No matter what you do, there's just no winning. I was finally able to get rid of him in 2017. I've been single and happiest ever since. Nice. I'm so good. Aw, I'm so happy for you, Nancy. I'm glad. Oh, absolutely, Tommy's girl. Yes. My first true love that I actually felt like real love for, you know? It was real love. So much so that I got married. You guys, I'm divorced. Surprise! Surprise! I'm divorced. I got divorced. We were married for 8 years. Yeah, I was so in love that I got married, and then I ended up getting divorced. So I'm a divorcee. But hey, it's okay. I'm happy. I'm happy now. Happier than I've ever been. Right. Oh my goodness. Surprise. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. See, this is what we do on Rabbit Hole Rocks. Rabbit Hole Rocks live, right? Rabbit Hole Rocks live. Yeah. So you guys are knowing all the tea. You guys get the tea. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm happy. You know, divorce is good. When you're miserable, divorce is good. I used to think, oh my God, for a really long time, I saw my divorce as my biggest failure. I felt like an absolute failure for getting divorced. And I think it's because, a lot of what society tells us, when we live like this, right? We live in a society that tells us that, you know, you grow up, you go to school, or if not, you get a good job, you get married, you have kids, you buy a house, you have a white picket fence, you have your animals, and you grow old together and everything's great. And so because of it, right, I was accomplishing all these things. Like I was going to school, I was doing all these other things, and then I finally got married and I'm like, "Oh my God, like I'm doing the things that society tells you that makes you successful." And so once I'd made the decision that this relationship and this marriage can't go on and we need to get divorced, even though I knew it was the right thing to do, I felt like an absolute failure for having failed the marriage. And I think that is why for a really long time, it took me a while to get over the fact that it's not a failure. In fact, it was a good thing. The divorce ended up being a good thing for me. If I had stayed in it, I would still be thinking how miserable I am, right? Because there were times where I would just kind of sit there and think about, am I, can I do this for another 30 years? It was so bad that I would look at my age and then I would add however many more years I would probably live. So, if I'm 80, I'm like, if I live until I'm 80, can I do another 40 years of this? And that's how I would do that, right? I would literally sit there, okay? Not even not even joking. I would sit there sometimes and do math and I'm like, okay, 29, I'm 29 plus 40. Can I do this for 40 years if I die at 78? I laugh about it now, but that's what happened. I would sit there and be like, "Can I do this for another 40 years? I probably can't." And so that's when I decided divorce is what's gonna have to happen. Even though, yeah, it really did feel like a failure to me. It was the only thing in my life that I wasn't successful at. I wasn't successful at staying married. It only lasted 8 years. Hmm, it's so crazy. Oh, Nancy. I'm divorced too from a relationship in the 90s. You married a Marine, really? He swept me off my feet. I thought I was in love, but I really wasn't. Oh, yeah. Marines are the craziest. I also married a Marine. I was also a Marine. I think, yeah, when you marry a Marine, good luck. Good luck. Marines are just so toxic. Male Marines. I mean, some female Marines are too, but for the most part, male Marines are very toxic. I mean, the entire culture of the military is very toxic, right? Because it's very masculine, and the thing is that men want to keep their culture masculine. So when a woman enters their space, they want to make sure that they are the ones that are still at the top of the hierarchy. And so what they do is, they treat you in so many different ways, right? They either gaslight you, they haze you, they just actually treat you like shit, where they're so abusive that you have no other escape. Um, and yeah, these are the things that they do because they're really trying to keep the culture masculine culture. Anything, if a woman comes in and they're doing the same thing that other men can do, they can see that as emasculating. Because if a woman can also do the same push-ups, they can also do the same sit-ups, pull-ups, and run time as men, then they feel emasculated by that. And it's so strange. It's a very strange psychology when the military. And, having been in 2 military branches, I definitely saw both sides. I was in the Marine Corps, for almost 4 years. I got out, and then I joined the Coast Guard, and then I was on a boat. I was stationed on a boat. It's called it was a Coast Guard cutter. So it was I think it was 410 feet. It's one of the bigger boats that the Coast Guard has. But yeah, I was in the boat, and I saw the same toxicity, but it was a different dynamic because at that point you're on a boat. So if anything, it was scarier because you have no escape. You're on a boat with these people for 8 months, right? Max. And you cannot escape. You can't go anywhere. The only time you can escape is when you make port, right? When you stop at a port, you're able to get off and kind of hang out and go to the bars. I mean, that was my escape. I would just hang out at the bars and just get so drunk that I would forget things. I mean, it was bad, right? It was bad. But yeah, it's just very, very toxic culture in the military. Yeah, Tommy's girl. Marines are toxic. My friend's ex was Navy. He cheated, verbally abused. Oh, is that normal for a Navy? Yes, it is. It is. Um, yeah. In fact, I got out of going to the Mew. So when I was a corporal, I was an E4 in the Marine Corps. When I was a corporal, I was getting ready to either get out of the Marines or stay in the Marines. I really wanted to be a drill instructor. Okay. I really, really wanted to be a drill instructor. I always thought it would be so fun to just scream and yell at recruits. So I was kind of, going back and forth. Do I want to stay in the Marine Corps? Do I not want to? And so when I made the decision that, okay, let's go ahead and do this option, right? I want to stay in. I was going to get orders. So my next duty station was going to be what is called the 13th MEU. So the 13th Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is a boat. Okay. It's a big Navy ship. It's huge. So it's what the Navy, what they drive, right? Or the big boats from the Navy. And the thing that stopped me is that at that point I would have been a sergeant, right? So an E5, and an E5 is still below everybody else. And so on a Navy ship, you're kind of put in where your rank is, right? So if you are a boot, you're at the bottom of the barrel. You are scraping bird shit off the dock, right? Off of the boats. You're making sure that the gray water, right? All the sewage water and everything gets cleaned out. I mean, you are at the bottom. And then you have your NCOs, right? Your non-commissioned officers. So you have your corporals and your sergeants. They're not the bottom of the barrel, but they're definitely not at the top. And believe it or not, there is so much sexual assault that happens on these boats. And if you are a sergeant and below, it might happen. And so, because of that, I decided I will not go on this MEU. I'm not going to go on this boat because I'm going to be risking an assault because it is so common to see these on Navy ships that I was not about to risk it. And even though my gunnery sergeant, so he was a gunnery sergeant at the time, so he's an E7, which is the equivalent of a chief in the Navy. He would have been okay to be on the upper levels of the ship, so he was never gonna, nothing bad was gonna happen to him. So he told me, "Hey, like, are you sure you don't wanna join the MEU with me? If you go and I get you orders to this, then I can, prepare you for drill instructor school, and then I can help build your career in the Marine Corps, and I will protect you," is what he told me. He's like, "I will protect you. I will make sure nothing bad happens to you." And I said, "Gunny," right, gunnery sergeant, "you can't protect me. You're a chief equivalent in the Navy, right? In the Marine Corps, you're a gunnery sergeant, but in the Navy, you're a chief. You can't protect me because you just have it's just different. You are at a different side of the boat altogether. You're on a different deck. If anything bad were to happen to me, it would happen on the lower decks. You would never even know. Like, you would not know. There's no way to protect me." And that is really what did it for me. I decided to get out of the Marine Corps because I just did not want to risk an assault on a boat. And because at that time I was just gonna be an E5. If I had at least been an E6 or an E7, maybe, but other than that, no. No. Yeah. Yeah, Roxy the drill sergeant. Yeah, I really did want to be a drill instructor. Yes, yes. Tommy's Girl, yes. SA, yes. There's a lot of SA man to man too that isn't really talked about. A lot of these things happen in the military and nobody really talks about them. I gave a speech in one of my when I was in college. I gave a speech on it, and it was a competition. It was a what is it? A speech. No, it's not a speech competition. I can't remember. Whatever. But it was a type of competition, and you gave a speech in front of an entire audience. And so my speech was regarding SA, right? Assault in the military. I came in second place. I got beat out by a guy who did magic, right? He talked about magic and he won. Uh, but anyway, I talked about SA during my speech. And a lot of people learned for the very first time that that was happening in the military. People don't realize that PTSD in the military doesn't just come from the stereotypical wartime, right? A lot of people think, "Oh, you were in the military, you have PTSD because you were in war." No, no. There was no combat. A lot of the PTSD for both men and women come from the culture itself. It comes from having to have your guard up all the time. You're hyper vigilant. You're making sure that your buddies next to you are not trying to assault you sometimes. Um, it is it I can keep going. And the thing is, not my entire military experience wasn't terrible, right? I don't wanna make it sound like all of it was just bad, right? Like, I'm just constantly making sure that my peer doesn't try to do something to me. No, 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 no. I met incredible people in the military, friends that I've kept since, and we still talk to this day. They're my closest, most loyal friends. We looked out for one another, but at the same time, there are some really bad people in the military. And the thing is that a lot of these people get protected because the rank is really what matters. And so when the rank matters and not the victim, you end up seeing a lot of these things get swept under the rug. And so when I gave this speech and I told people that these things happen and there has to be a better way at bringing justice to the victims rather than just keeping it in the military, I proposed actually for these bad things, right? These assaults and different types of crimes that happen in the military. I proposed that they get removed and taken away from the commanding officer because a commanding officer has way too much power over their unit, right? Over their command. And so a commanding officer decides whether or not they want to court martial. A court martial is when you bring someone to justice. So it would be like a trial, but it's a military trial. Okay, so that's what a court martial is. It's a military trial. So a commanding officer decides if they want to bring um, a trial to the perpetrator. And then they're the ones that decide whether or not the perpetrator stays in the unit or they send off the victim. And so the commanding officer has way too much power over who stays and who goes and who gets a court martial and who doesn't. Sometimes a lot of these service members are really high ranking. And because they're high ranking, they do not get in trouble. There is no such thing as court martials for certain officers. So if you're a major and above, or if you are sometimes an E7 or above, there's really no justice there. The victim gets sent away because it's the victim that is causing friction in the unit. The victim is the one making everybody else uncomfortable, even though it was the master sergeant who did the assault. And so a lot of those things, the way that the military works, it needs a lot of reform. But I don't see it ever happening. I don't see it ever happening. And a lot of people are just so surprised to hear these stories that a lot of the PTSD that women suffer is from the hypervigilance or from the assaults or the harassment, intimidation, coercion, and just everything that you have to do. You have to carry yourself in a certain way to be able to survive in some of these units. And so, yeah, I knew that I would not be okay on a Mew, on the 13th Mew. There was no way. No way. Oh, smart survival. No. It is incredibly common. It is so common. Oh my God. When I was in the Coast Guard, there was a day, it was called SA Awareness Day. This is so crazy. It's crazy that the military needs to have an entire awareness day. They're like, hey guys, today we're going to have SA Awareness Day. This is what you shouldn't do to people, all right? Keep your hands to yourself. It's like we're teaching people for the first time how to respect others, right? But anyway, we had SA Day on the Coast Guard base, and it was just, God, it was so crazy to see. They had boots out on the floor, right? So like there was this whole section cut out, and I think it was a parking lot. And on this parking lot, they had boots on the ground, and it was covered. The whole deck was covered with black boots, like Coast Guard boots. And what that symbolized was the number of SA that happened that month. That month. Excuse me. And that was just the reported ones, okay? Just the reported ones that month. This is how crazy that is. Because we had SA awareness that month, and then they put out the boots, and you kind of walk around and you read the story. And I can't remember how many boots there were, but there were at least over 200. I think so. Yeah. Over 200 pairs of boots that covered the entire parking lot. And it said, yeah, these are all of the SA victims from this month alone that were reported and verified. And I'm like, where am I? Is this not the military? Am I not supposed to be serving my country and be protecting others, but I need protection from my own service members? I need protection from my own peers. That is ridiculous. And so when you see this, and it really puts it into perspective, it puts it in so much perspective that this happens all the time. Do you guys know about the army? Oh my God, it was such a bad case, such a bad case. But she was murdered. The army has a lot of weird, strange things going on. I think it's happening in is it Fort Bragg? I don't want to say if it's not the right base, but oof. Yeah, that case really hit home as well. It happened years after I had gotten out of the Marine Corps, but when I read about this case, it just took me back. And you know, people are people are reading this case and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so sad. I can't believe this happened." It happens though all the time. It's just that that case was so vicious and gruesome that it made the news. But if we reported every single incident that happened in the military, we would be bombarded, okay? It would be oversaturated with news about the things that happen in the military, and that's why they stay in the military. You don't really hear about them because it's the military. It's so sad. It is insane. So yeah, a lot of my PTSD, a lot of my anxiety even, right? The hypervigilance that I feel is because I had to really watch my surroundings. I have so many stories and yeah, I have so many stories, guys. I have so many stories of incidents, right? Incidents that happened to me with people that I thought that I can trust. And then you realize I can't really even trust you. Like that is so crazy. It's so crazy. It's just so effed up that you as a woman couldn't pursue the job you wanted because you felt unsafe. Yeah. Vanessa, yes, there we go. Thank you guys. Yes, Vanessa Guillen, right? Here, let's go ahead and look it up. Oh man. Okay, Vanessa. Oh man. It is just diabolical. Okay, here, let's go see. Let's do the bigger screen. Here it is. Yeah, her. Now, her story was so sad. So, so sad. And, she was 20 years old, right? She joined the military to serve her country, to get benefits from it, right? I mean, there's all these benefits you get from serving the military. And, there's so many you have to really sacrifice a lot when you join the military. You're sacrificing not only the time that you spend with your family and your friends, but you're really sacrificing your autonomy because you're giving your body and your soul to the government. They decide whether or not you get to eat that day. I mean, it is the truth. It's not just a job, it is a lifestyle. And so it is so sad that she joined the military at 20 years old. She couldn't even do what she wanted to do because she was murdered by someone that she's supposed to trust. Now imagine, these are the people you're serving with. What would happen if you have to get deployed with them? You are supposed to trust your buddy to the right and the left of you. That is what they tell you in the military. The buddy to your right and the left of you are your lifeline, but you can't even really trust anybody. When this stuff happens, you lose trust. I think this is why I'm so jaded. I don't know. My perspective, I think you guys, my perspective is a little screwed up. I think because I've just experienced a lot of craziness in my lifetime. I'm not even that old. It's just so crazy. Yeah, she was murdered. Um, Look at this. Oh yeah, Fort Hood. Fort Hood. It happened in Fort Hood, Texas. She was bludgeoned to death by another soldier. Okay, another soldier. More than 2 months. Some of her dismembered and burned remains were found buried along the Leon River. This is just one of many. Look at this. Conspiracy and oh man. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, yeah, she was in the army. Yeah, she was 20 years old. Ugh. Yeah, and so because of that, oh, I don't know what the oh right, I was watching Scamfish. This is the lady that was scammed by Elon Musk. Or she thought it was Elon Musk. She's so stupid. She ended up leaving her husband for Elon Musk, or who she thought was Elon Musk. But yeah, it's so true. I didn't get to do the things that I wanted. I really wanted to be a drill instructor, but I was not willing to risk my life and my body to be on a Navy ship for 3 years. 3 years. Then after that, I would have been able to go to drill instructor school to be a drill instructor, but it was not. It just didn't happen. Yes, Mr. Garlic Man, I was. I was in two military branches. I was in the Marine Corps and the Coast Guard. You should be able to trust your fellow soldiers. Yeah, you should be. But you can't. Many times you just can't. You know, I'll tell you guys a story. I'll try not to use names. Um, there was, when you're in the military, you're in the barracks, you live in the barracks, and you're always put with the same sex, right? So you're in the military barracks with 2 or 3 other women. The men have their own, their bunk mates are also men, but you still live in the same barracks, so the barracks are co-ed, right? So your next door neighbor can be men, and then your next door neighbors can be women. Um, but yeah, so I was in a barracks room with 2 of my bunkmates. There was, yeah, 3 of us in there. And one night, I was woken up to screams. That is because our neighbor to 2 barracks rooms to the left, one of them had somehow managed to get into our barracks room that night. I don't know how he did it. I think he opened the window and he was able to stick his arm in and open the door. And he crawled into my barracks mate into her bunk. He really crawled in there and tried to have sex with her, basically, right? Assault her. And she wakes up and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And so then my other barracks mate wakes up. And then that's when I wake up. I come out of my very deep sleep. This was when I had just graduated boot camp, so I was a boot, okay? I was a private first class PFC, and so I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, "Where am I?" When I woke up, I thought I was still in boot camp. I was so confused. No, no. My bunkmate, the one that realized what was going on, she jumped quickly and turns on the lights, and she's like, "Get out of our barracks room." She's like, "Get out of her bed, blah, blah, blah." She's, like, screaming, and I'm like, confused. I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?" And I'm on the top bunk, okay? So I'm on the top bunk. My bunkmate is at the bottom. And so I just kind of look over and I see this guy, right? This man in her bed. And I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of here. Like, what are you doing?" And we both ganged up on him. I jumped right off of the bunk and we're both just going at him. Like, "Get out, get out." I don't even remember what happened or how we got him out. I think he was a little drunk, but I think collectively all 3 of us grabbed his ass and threw him out and we closed the door. Now, did he get reported? No, because there's always fear of reporting something like this. And that's the thing. Had he been reported, our entire barracks room would have been targeted, meaning my friend, my other friend, and me, because we would be seen as the troublemakers. We are the ones that are trying to get this other Marine in trouble for something that the Marine Corps views as, eh, he didn't do anything. He was just crawling in the bed. And so, because he was such a good Marine as well, he had accolades, right? He was a meritorious promotion and stuff like that. Reporting him would have been really bad for us. So he was never reported. I think about it. These are the things that happen though, right? And so when you think about the boots that I was mentioning on the Coast Guard base, and you see the boots and you see that there are at least 200 boots there, those are the ones that got reported. Reported. What about the ones that don't go reported? This is the thing. A lot of these assaults go underreported. But you have to kind of figure out whether or not you want to, die on that hill. Do you want to report and then have your life, get shattered, right? Because at this point, they shun you. The military, oh man, I don't know what it's like now. It's probably worse. But you get shunned. You just can't really speak on these things. It's so bad. Yeah, lots more get underreported. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh yeah, he was playing exactly. Yeah. Oh, he was just playing. Oh, you guys, he didn't really do anything. Oh, he's just a little drunk. Let him be. He didn't do anything anyway. Uh, what? Yeah, that's why I go to work and home. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And then yeah, I ended up getting out of the Marine Corps and then joined the Coast Guard. And in the Coast Guard, I didn't, I didn't really feel as unsafe. I think because luckily the birthing, it's called a birthing, I don't know what's called a birthing, but the room that you're living in on the boat, we had 4 women, right? Instead of 3, we had 4. And those women, oh my god, I think collectively all of us were just beasts, right? We had we had an E4, we had an E5, and we also had 2 boots, which was me and the another girl. We were 2 boots. But we had women who had already done other things. And one of them was also a Air Force veteran. I was a Marine Corps veteran. And so I think because collectively as a birthing room, we were just beasts, no one can touch us. We were untouchable. So I think because of that, I just didn't feel as unsafe on that boat. Um, but it was pretty crazy. There was a lot of crazy stuff that happened on that boat still. Like, we ran out of food, and then you see people behaving in very different ways. If you wanna see crazy people, starve them. Starve them. When people have no food, they become animals. Oh, goodness. TK, I spent 9 years on a military base. Really? Oh, wow. Military bases. Wait, were you in the military, or who was in the military? Wow. I lived on a military base too. Yeah, exactly, Nancy. Yeah, you should be able to trust your fellow soldiers. You just can't. Hmm. If my current boyfriend and I don't make it, I'm done. I don't think we will, so essentially I'm done. Oh no. Oh, Tommy's girl. Aw, yeah. You do. You deserve to be treated like a queen. Who gets starved? Wolf baby, wait, who? Who got starved? Wait, hold on, what? I'm talking about the boat. So when I was on the Coast Guard boat, we ended up missing one of our ports. So at every port, and this, by the way, I was in California when I was in the Coast Guard. Um, when you go to port, right? So say you're in San Francisco, the next port is LA, right? So you go from San Francisco to LA to pick up resources, right? So you're either refueling or you're picking up more food for the longer trip, right? And so you go from, you know, uh, Seattle down to Portland, from Portland down to San Francisco, San Francisco down to LA. Well, we ended up missing one of them. I don't know why. The captain was probably high. I don't know what it was up that guy. I have stories about him. Um, but our captain ended up deciding, "Oh, I don't think we need shit." He ended up going, right? So we end up running out of food. That was possibly the scariest experience on that boat, apart from other things. Knowing that there was no food, it started to make people a little bit crazy. We started to see the food kinda dwindle, and so the thing is, you end up making a line, right? So every morning at around 6 a.m., you know that that is when chow is getting served. So you wake up, you go to line up for chow, and then you end up seeing that they're actually giving you less and less because we're trying to, save the food, right? We're trying to ration because we're like, "Holy shit, we are I don't know how many miles away from our next port, and we have 115 people on board, and we only have a little bit of bread, a little bit of rice, and a little bit of beans. So we have to make this food last for another 3 weeks. Holy shit. So you start seeing the rations, right? So the portions start to get smaller. And so, that's when you start to realize, wait, hold up. What is going on? Are we running out of food? When that realization comes, people go crazy. People go so crazy. Luckily, Before we made port, or, before we left our main port, I stopped by Walmart and I got myself some, what were they? Pop Tarts. I got myself Pop Tarts and Slim Jims. That was it, right? I mean, I was in my 20s, right? I was eating all kinds of garbage. I'm like, yeah, this will get me through the day. Uh, so, so I got Pop Tarts and Slim Jims. That's what and it was boxes full of them. Holy shit. When the food started to run out, guess what? Everybody was knocking on our birthing room. Fucking knocking. Like, hey, do you have Slim Jims? Hey, can I get a half of a Slim Jim? Hey, can I get some Pop Tarts? Hey, do you have the strawberries? Holy moly. There were days where I had to pretend to be asleep because I was like, "No, I'm not letting anybody in." Because if you let one person in, everybody else knows that this birthing room has food. There were others that had food too, and they would go and bother them. So you end up figuring out, "Oh, who has food? Who has food?" And then these people just go around knocking. They're like, "Hey, I'm starving. Can I get some Pop-Tarts?" Oh, and you're like, "No, no." But anyway, we ended up surviving it, okay? We ended up surviving it. We survived it with just I think it was, biscuits, like, we had biscuits and some other crap, I don't even remember, beans or something. We ended up making it to LA, we made it to the port, and that is when, we made kind of like an assembly line, and that is when you start just passing food, and as you're passing food, right, we're, like, moving, like, oranges and, vegetables, cheese even. We're moving them up as an assembly line to get them from the bottom of the deck up onto the boat and into the chow hall. And so you need a huge assembly line of Coast Guardsmen, right? Everyone just lined up. 115 people lined up. We're all working today, guys. So you line up and you're just moving shit around as an assembly. By the time it got to the chow hall, a lot of the food was gone because people are eating it as you're passing it. You're like, grab, and you're like, pass, grab, pass. That's how bad it was. So I finally got to the chow hall, and once the chow hall realized that the food was dwindling by the time it got there, um, our executive officer made a call over the big, I can't remember what it's called, the big sound thing, and he's like, "Hey, Coast Guardsmen, you can't be eating the food. Do not eat the food. If you eat the food, you're gonna have watch tonight, or anything, right?" And so after that, a lot of people were just kinda, like, being sneaky about it, kinda grabbing. But yeah, it was so crazy. The military can refuel lanes in midair, but can't yeah, they can't get y'all some Cheez-Its. Yes. See, the thing is, the military has money to refuel jet planes. They have money for all this shit, but they do not wanna spend money on their personnel. Do you guys know that? Personnel, they don't spend money on us. We are expendable. We're flesh and bone, right? If I just fell overboard and drowned, so what? They'll find another recruit. They'll be like, "Okay, well, Rox is gone. Do you have more recruits to replace her?" We are expendable. Personnel in the military, they don't spend money on us. They spend money on the weapons, they spend money on gear, and yes, they spend money on jet planes, helos, right? Even something like that. Because believe it or not, when we were running out of food, a helo still landed, right? We were still out there having to work, right? And so you do something called helo tie downs. So when a helo is landing on the boat, right? It's landing, landing, landing. You need real human beings, right? To tie you have to tie this fucking helicopter as it's hovering over you. Now, imagine, right? Imagine the fear of getting decapitated, but you need to know how to do it. So you're hovering, right? And it's blowing and everything's like, right? But you got to tie this helo down and bring it down and tie it to the boat, right? And you're doing all of this as you're starving because we don't have food. But hey, guess what? There's money for the helo. Oh, helo tie down? Yeah. Send all of these starving Coast Guardsmen to tie this helo down. So imagine, right, the liability. A bunch of starving Coast Guardsmen trying to tie down trying to tie down this fucking helicopter. Oh my goodness. Wow. Did you ride in a helicopter? Not in the military. I rode in just regular, a regular helicopter, but not in the military. I did not ride in a helicopter. I'm glad I didn't. Those things fall from the sky all the time. I'm giving you guys the tea. Military talk here. I'm just being real. A lot of people will romanticize the military, and I will say, like I said, right? My entire experience in the Marine Corps and the Coast Guard was not all terrible. I met really great people. I had some really amazing experiences with the Marines. I was stationed in Hawaii, right? So who can complain, right? I lived in Hawaii for 3 years, and then with the Coast Guard, I was in NorCal, right, Northern California. So who's complaining? Um, and a lot of the things that I learned in the military, I was able to apply them in real life, right? I learned so much, not only when it comes to career wise, but also about myself. I definitely, I, I think I joined the military because I needed direction in my life, and the military did that for me. I mean, it really did. It provided so many good things for me. It provided me with discipline, um, a vision in life, and right, and then of course, all the benefits that come from it. I was able to get the GI Bill from it. I was able to get a bachelor's degree, and I went for my master's degree, although I dropped out of grad school to start my YouTube channel. So I didn't finish grad school because I started my YouTube channel, and this is what I really wanted to do, and so I dropped out of grad school for that. But yeah, I mean, there's so many good things that you get out of the military, and so yeah, like my whole experience wasn't terrible. But it's just the things that nobody really talks about is the culture itself is very, very toxic, and it's not safe. It's just not really all that safe. And the thing is, it's not safe because the people are terrible. The the organization allows these things to happen. That's the difference that I want to make. So, so you take anything away, it's not that people are just terrible everywhere, even though people are terrible. And that right, people are still terrible. But I'm not saying everyone is terrible. I think that if an organization allows certain things to be swept under the rug, then it gives you're right, it tells the members that it is okay for them to behave in certain ways. Because if they're not punished for that behavior, then they are allowed basically to do these things. And so it is the culture that is bad. It is the organization. It is the fact that we don't have that many systems in place to protect victims and protect people from being harassed, hazed, and assaulted. And I just don't think that the military does enough to protect victims. They really only care more about their ethos and the mission, which of course it's important, but you can't have a mission when your service members are being assaulted. When they're not trusting each other, you're going to fail at the mission because you need people to be all there, right? You need people to be focused to be able to complete the mission. And if you're not focused because you're constantly being harassed and hazed and mistreated, the mission fails. And so I don't understand why we still do this. And that is yeah, it was part of my speech, right? When I gave that speech in college to really talk about it because if we really care about the mission, then why don't we care about our personnel? Our personnel are what make the mission possible. So why are we not protecting them? It's so strange. So strange. It's so ass backwards, isn't it? You would think that this is all common sense, but it's not. It's not. The military is devoid of common sense. There is no common sense at all in the military. Mm, yeah. Too many perps. Yes. Yes. And see, they're allowed to flourish though, right? The thing is, not everyone is a perv, but if you are a perv and you join the military, you are allowed to flourish as a perv because you're not, you're just not punished in a way that should be punished. So, Yeah. Yeah, there's no education about it in the civilian world. There isn't. What's the GI Bill? Oh, the GI Bill is the God, what is it called? Oh my goodness, I don't even know what GI stands for anymore. The GI Bill is something that the federal government gives to veterans to get an education. So you get 3 years of a GI Bill. So you can get a bachelor's degree essentially for free because the VA, the Veterans Affairs, pays for it. Although it's not really free, right? You sacrifice your body, you sacrifice 4 years of your life to be in the military. So, it's not really free, but yeah, this is a GI Bill. What does G stand for? I can't remember what it stands for. Hmm. But yeah, so it pays for college, graduate school, and, training programs. So if you join the military after 9/11, you get the GI Bill, and it's good for 3 now it's forever. So the GI Bill is good forever now. So yeah, so you get the GI Bill for the rest of your life, and you can get a bachelor's degree. If you are a disabled service member, you can also even go and get your graduate degree. So that's what I was in the program for graduate school. Yeah, it is. It's really cool. It's really cool. And the thing is, yeah, like I said, the military has a lot of good things, right? It taught me a lot of good things, and I made a lot of really good friends and had really good experiences. Things that I would have never done had I not joined the military. I think it also gave me a lot of courage, right? I have a lot of courage now. I yeah, there's just certain things that I don't think I would have accomplished if it wasn't for the military. So it did teach me a lot of good things. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. It is. Yeah, TK, it's a good incentive. And not just that, right? It's the GI Bill and the veterans home loan, right? So as a veteran, you can buy a home and put zero down on a house, right? So these are really good benefits, right? But see, the thing is, you have to survive first. You have to survive 4 years of the military. For someone like Vanessa Guillen, she didn't even survive. She did not survive at all. So it's just sad when when you join the military and you want to do these things, right? You either want to make it a career or you're joining, to for whatever reason. And then things like this happen. It's just so tragic. I really feel for her family. I mean, when you let your children join the military, most parents are afraid. But they're usually afraid because they think they're going to send you off to war. But not that many parents think that your child is going to get assaulted and murdered by a service member. But that's the reality, and it needs to be talked about. Hmm. Yeah, hot chocolate lover. No, yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, of course. You too. You as well. Have a good weekend. Yeah, I'll see you Sunday. Yeah, Sunday for a regular live stream. Geology is okay. Rocks are cool. Geometry, not so much. Right. I love geology. Geology is so cool. Um, Yeah. Let's see. It's so cool that you did that. Join the Marines and Coast Guard. It's brave. It's probably will probably keep you safe because you're more aware than the average person. Yeah. Yeah. I'm aware, very hyper vigilant. I also know how to defend myself. I think that's the other thing is that I can defend myself with these hands. Uh, yeah. That's the good part about it too, is that I was able to learn Marine Corps martial arts, which is a combination of a bunch of different martial arts. It has Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it has Krav Maga, it has, God, it's so many, Taekwondo even, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Marine Corps martial arts has all of those incorporated into one, and anything is a weapon. So in the Marine Corps, you're taught that anything is a weapon, anything, right? So, when I'm here, even when I'm at home and I'm doing my live streams, I sometimes will sit here and just picture what if I was in the middle of a live stream and somebody walked into my house? Like, what would I do? Right. And so, yeah, I have these ideas. Like, I know exactly what I would use as a weapon because I have been trained to think of every single thing as a weapon. And so, when I look around and I have things on my desk, I know exactly what I would use as a weapon because anything is a weapon in Marine Corps martial arts. So, I do feel safe because of that. Although I am small, but I can definitely wield a knife. And I'm an expert rifleman. Come get me. Come at me, NK. Yeah, I can definitely defend myself. There's a joke that Marines have when you get out of the Marine Corps that you have to register your hands as weapons, right? Because we're even taught how to use our hands to eye gouge, right? To like gouge someone's eyes out. So even our hands are considered deadly weapons. So that there's like a joke, right? Marines have to register their hands as deadly weapons. We don't. We don't. Smart survival. Don't throw your cat. Yeah, Gia's just hanging out because she's my weapon. I'm just gonna grab her and be like, Gia, go. Oh man. No, never. Never, never. I would never use my babies as shields. Never. No. I'll throw anything on my desk. Look, I have eyeballs. I'll throw these first. I'm like, get out. Get out of my room. I have eyeballs. I have these, right? I have a eraser. Most importantly, I have stabby things. It's the stabby ones that will do it. Really, Starlass, martial artist and qualified to train. Really, it sounds like you learned Jeet Kundo. Yes, there we go. Yes, what Bruce Lee taught. Yes, yes, yes. It's the one. I don't know if I'm looking stupid by doing this, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, it's the one where you like yes. Yes. Yeah, that we learned all those things. Yeah, we learned a little bit of everything. Let's pull it up. Marine Corps Marine Corps martial arts. Here it is. Oh, Muay Thai. There we go. Okay. Here it is. These are all of the disciplines, the martial arts disciplines in Marine Corps martial arts. So yeah, look at this. So it's a blended combat system created in 2002 that combines hand-to-hand moves, weapons training, and warrior ethos. It uses techniques from boxing, jujitsu, Muay Thai, aiming for the motto of one mind, any weapon. Yeah, that's because anything can be a weapon. So if you set your mind to defense, anything can be a weapon. Look, so you teach strikes, grappling, weapons used, right? So yeah, rifles, bayonets, and knives. That's why I say I can definitely wield a knife. Watch me with a knife. And like I said, I'm an expert rifleman. I'm also a sharpshooter with a pistol. Mental. Look at this. Focuses on leadership, tactics, and decision making under stress. Builds core values like honor, courage, and commitment. Yeah, these are the foundations taught in boot camp. But then, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so in the boot camp, you get the tan belt, which is the very basics, right? It's very basic grappling and hand to hand combat. And then once you get into the fleet, right? So once you graduate boot camp and you go out and you join, you're out there in the real military, that is when you're able to get more training. And so then you're able to get more belts, right? So you're able to get a gray belt, a green belt, a brown belt, and then finally your black belt. A black belt is a mastery, right? So you're able to get a mastery belt, and then you're able to even teach. You can be a McMAP instructor, is what it's called, Marine Corps Martial Arts Program instructor. I had a brown belt. The highest I ever got was brown belt. I had advanced technical proficiency. I was a brown belt. But yeah, every step you move up and you learn more. So as a brown belt, you learn how to disarm, which is very scary, right? So you end up getting pepper sprayed, and you also learn how to disarm. So if somebody is pointing a rifle at you, right? It would be a rifle, so say like an AK-47 or something. You would learn how to disarm it by, moving to the side, grabbing the barrel. So you grab the barrel and then you pull them in, you step on them, right? And then you like take them down. So like all these little things are the things that you learn as you move up in Marine Corps martial arts. Yeah, it's super fun. Starlass, that's really cool. Are you teaching? Do you teach right now? Like, do you do any martial arts training? Bruce Lee, yeah, he's your idol. My mom loves Bruce Lee. She's such a huge fan of Bruce Lee. I was too when I was a kid. Yeah, his movies are so good. Um, if you guys want to watch a really good movie, it was the trainer of Bruce Lee. It's called Ip Man. Do you guys know that movie? Ip Man. So it's IP Man, Ip Man. You do, Starlast. That's awesome. Okay, here, let's go ahead. I want to show you guys Ip Man. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the movie, but this is the here we go. I just want to show you guys the actual here he is. There he is. It's based on him. He was Bruce Lee's trainer, right? Yeah, here he is. So most notably, and the legendary movie star Bruce Lee. It's such a good movie. If you guys like these types of movies where there's martial arts, but there's also a lot of history. So this takes us back to World War II history, when the Japanese were taking over Chinese, and yeah, so it was during World War II, and this movie really is about how the Japanese forces went into China and took over everything, and he's basically having to defend himself, right? He's having to fight for food. He's having to fight for a bag of rice to feed his family. When prior to the Japanese forces going in, he had a big home, and so it was taken from him when they came in, and so the whole movie is just it's really good. It has really good, I mean, obviously, right, the martial arts, but it has a really good history of World War II and the Japanese and the Chinese conflict that we don't really talk about that kind of stuff. When you're American and you learn about American history, you learn mostly about American history. You don't really learn too much about what the other countries were doing during World War II. So yeah, if you guys are interested, this is a really good movie, and it talks about World War II history, so it's really cool if you guys want to watch it. Yeah, yeah, martial arts is really fun. I love it. Really good movie, Tommy Zero. You're not going to regret it. Believe me, it's a really good movie. It is. It is. Oh man. Oh, Camille. Right. Right. Camille. I love Ip Man movies. There's one and two. One and two are the absolute best. Oh my goodness, they're so good. And they're very emotional too. I mean, they get you. Yeah, I recommend it, guys. If you guys need to watch a movie or you want to watch something this weekend, watch Ip Man. You're not going to be disappointed. Very, very good. Oh, thank you so much, Angela. Thank you. Aw. That means so much to me. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys. You guys are so sweet. It is excellent. Starlass, right? You've seen it, I'm sure you have. Yeah, if you're a Bruce Lee fan, I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. It's a really, really, really good movie, but yeah. Yip. Oh, that's right. His real name is Yip Man, and pronounce the Y, but Ip is said like Ip, as in dip. Ip Man. Yes, Ip Man. There we go. Thank you for that. Yeah, IP Man. You know, when I was first watching this movie, I would call it IP Man. It's Ip Man. Mhm. Yeah. Kung Pao enters Enter the Fist. Oh, right. Do you guys know that funny movie? There's like a funny movie. Is that it? It's like a funny martial arts movie. God, what is it called? Is it that one? Is it that one, Jessica? Kung Pao Enter the Fist? Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Is that the funny one? It is. It is. Oh my god. You guys, if you haven't seen this movie, I also recommend it. Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It's satire, right? Uh which of course I love. I love satire, obviously. But yeah, if you guys haven't watched this movie, it is so good. It's called Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and it's stupid funny, right? It's so good. I recommend it. I'm not gonna tell you too much about it. I definitely am. Yes, Masia. I'm feeling a lot better. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a lot better. Yip, Yip Man. Yeah. Yeah, I still have a little cough, and before I hopped on this live stream, I took a little nap because I was feeling a little after our last live stream. But no, I feel so much better today. I think it's the Theraflu and the sleep and everything that I've been doing. I think it has been really, really been helping, and I've been staying hydrated too, which is important. He does really, Starlass. Donnie Yen stars in Enter the Fat Dragon. He does. I love that actor. Donnie Yen is such a good actor. Does he enter the Fat Dragon? Okay. Oh my god, it is. Oh, it is. Oh my goodness. Look at you guys. It is. Oh, wow. Yeah, Donnie Yen. Nice. Well, thank you for that. I'll have to watch this one. I haven't watched this movie. I'll have to watch this one. It's a comedy. Yeah. I love comedies. Comedy and horror are the two my two go-to movie genres. Look up Megan Levy. I think you would love that movie. It's a true story. Okay, Megan Levy. Oh, 2017. Huh, I think I've heard of it. Oh, with Kate Mara. Yes, 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 yes. I know which one this is. She's a Marine. I haven't seen it though. Oh, look at that. She's a corporal. She's a corporal in the Marine Corps. Nice. Her journey as a U.S. Marine who completed over 100 missions with her working dog. Aw, nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch this one. I'll have to watch this movie. It sounds good. Yeah, especially yeah, I mean, a lot of military movies are, about men, and so watching a movie where the woman is the protagonist and she's in the military, I think I would wanna watch it. I know, yeah, add that to the list. Yes, I will. Definitely will. I'll watch it and I'll let you guys know what I think. Yeah, guys, go ahead and watch it. Here, I'll put it up on the screen again. Yeah, Megan Levy. It's on YouTube, Hulu, and what is this? Amazon? Amazon Prime? Hmm. Oh, look at that. She comes out in it too? The real Megan Levy comes out in it, and she comes out she's a female drill instructor. That is so cool. Female drill instructor number 3. She comes out in her own movie. That is so cool. Common. Look, he's gunny. He's a gunnery sergeant. Hmm. Well, okay, now I'm getting into the actors. Alright, let me not do that. It's a slippery slope when I do that. I'm like, "Oh, what actor was this movie in? Oh, I remember seeing him in this movie. Oh my god, he was in this movie too?" I end up going down a rabbit hole of actors. You watch the real interviews too? Oh, nice. It's about the Marina, her dog, because I love anything with a dog. Have you seen it, Boops? You've seen it? Hmm. I have not seen it. My mom was one of the first female dog trainers in the military. Really, Jessica? Um, for what branch? Do you know? What branch was she doing dog training for? That's something I really wanted to do. I never got the chance to. I really wanted to be a canine handler in the Marine Corps, but it just never happened. She suffered from depression, joined the Marines, and was assigned to the sniffing dogs. Okay. Oh man. Exactly, Starlass. I agree with you. Yeah. Who cares? If all the humans die, just not the animals, please. Not the little fur babies. And the babies, right? Real babies, right? Like children. I don't like to see movies where kids and animals get harmed. Oh, really? The army. Okay, the army in Germany. All right. Cool. See, that's the other cool thing that I got to experience in the Marine Corps is that I was able to serve with militaries from other countries. So I served with the Australian Army. I think it was the Australian Army. Um the British Marines. I don't think I ever met anybody from Germany though, from the army in Germany. It was kinda cool because we would exchange, our blouse, right? I'm like, "Hey, that's pretty cool. I've never seen that blouse, in the military," talking to my friends from Australia, and so we would exchange little things like, "Oh, those are cool boots. You wanna give me those? I'll give you mine." So we would exchange little things as kind of, like little souvenirs that we all served together and, different countries are joining together. I had to Google if the dog lives. Oh, no. Don't tell me. Tommy's girl. Please don't tell me. Don't tell me. I love dog training. I was actually out here training while listening to this. Really? And I'm getting a standard poodle next week, planning to train her. Really? Boops. That's so cool. Wait, you're a dog trainer? Like legit? Like you I mean, what I mean like legit because I have I have 2 friends, all right? The reason I say this is because I have 2 friends, both of them swear up and down they are dog trainers, but they're not. They're not. They're like, "Oh, I trained my dog to get me beer." And I'm like, "Okay, is that all he does?" So so to me, I'm like, "Okay, you're not really a dog trainer, you just trained your dog to get you things that you want him to get you because 'cause you're too lazy to get up." Not saying that you would do that, Boops, right? Like, "Hey, hey, Sparky, bring me a Corona," right? And the dog's like, bringing you a Corona while you're just, like, chilling watching TV. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay. Oh, right, okay. No, okay, so but you're still a pretty legit dog trainer then, because 'cause you're not just training your dog to get you beer. No, but these 2 of my friends, they literally they will say, they're like, "Yeah, no, I'm a dog trainer." I'm like, "You're not, though. You train your dog to get you one thing, and apart from that, your dog doesn't really do anything else." Like, they're trying to walk the dog and the dog is walking them, and I'm like, bro, I thought you told me that you're a dog trainer. Like, train your dog. Train him. Oh, man. My husband at the time was in the Marine Corps. The wives had Jane Wayne Day. Oh, yeah. And I got to ride in the Oh, really? Oh, you're eating MREs? Oh my goodness. MREs, ugh. See, MREs are so good. MREs for those of you who don't know, an MRE is a meal ready to eat. Um, it's really nasty. It is full of calories because you need these calories to be able to, do the thing. But they're so disgusting. They're disgusting when you eat them as a civilian, but they are so delicious when you're in the military. Because in the military, you're constantly starving. Always, all the time. This is a meal ready to eat. Yeah. Some of these courses are actually really good. Entree, so like chili, pasta, and beef stew, these are pretty good. They also have the peanut butter spread, which I thought was so delicious. Oh, the cheese spread. Mm. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, these are actually really good. But I think the only reason they were good is because I was training. You get these when you're deployed or when you're doing combat training. Because when you're combat training, you're not able to actually go to the chow hall. So you carry these in your backpack and you just put water in them and it becomes real food, but it's packed with calories because it's supposed to, right? It's supposed to um, get you to, to be able to have the energy to get through the day. Look at this calorie density. Yeah. Formulated to sustain high physical activity. It is so bad. It has a lot of sodium. So there's a lot of sodium, but it lasts forever. The shelf life on these is for eternity. I think I had one and I was going to eat it and I never did. I don't know what happened to it. Is it true they put something called saltpeter in the MREs? Saltpeter. I don't know. I've never heard of that. Saltpeter. Oh, potassium nitrate? No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Wow, I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself. I don't know. Saltpeter is potassium nitrate. Yeah, doesn't that make you explode? Fireworks, gunpowder. Hmm. I don't know. I don't think so. They have a lot of sodium. I don't think they have explosives. Oh my goodness. None of us will survive. I'm a crazy off topic, but can you tell when creators used filters? Creators, what do you mean? Like content creators when they use filters? Is that what you're talking about? I'm a crazy. August 14th is National Navajo Code Talkers Day. My grandpa served in the Marine Corps. Oh, yes. Yes, August 14th. Oh, it's coming up. Nice. Well, tell him I said Semper Fi. Ora. Ora. Yut. It's also a food preservative. Oh, okay. Well, if it's a food preservative, then it's likely. Then yes. Maybe? I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't answer that question for you because I don't know. I really don't know. And if there was, it's possible, but they didn't tell us. They're just like, here, eat this. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat it because you're starving, yeah. So you're just gonna be like, you eat anything they give you. Yeah, some of this food is so gross, but you're gonna eat it because you're starving. I like Teddy from A Guy in Golden. He is so funny. Teddy is a golden retriever who does human things. The owner trains him to do funny. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Yeah, my friends who have dogs, they all have really well-trained dogs. Really well trained. I Yeah, I have two of my friends, they have I can't remember the type of dog that they have, but they rescued them from the pound, and they were really crazy at first, and then, yeah, they just did really well at training them, so you don't even have to, you don't really even have to be a dog trainer to be able to train a dog. They're so smart. I mean, yeah, she tells him, "Oh, like sit, lay down, roll over, walk next to me." I think that's the biggest one is that when they walk their animal, right? When they walk their dog, the dog is walking beside them, and they don't, "Meow," right? They don't act out or get all weird with other dogs. That is the type of training that is really important for a dog. When I had dogs, I wish I would have trained them, but I, excuse me, I wasn't able to. Does YouTube allow pictures in chat yet? No, they don't. Yeah, I personally think dogs, cats, birds, hamsters, guinea pigs, whoever we love trains us. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 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 My cat is a human trainer. My cat trains me. Dogs can train fast too. I can train a horse and a dog can train me in one look. Yeah. Yeah, dogs are so smart. I really want a dog. I really wanna get a dog. I don't know, I haven't decided yet because my life, I don't think that I can handle a dog right now. But when I would hike a lot and I did a lot of my 14ers, right? So, hiking 14,000 feet of elevation. I really wanted a dog because I just wanted, someone to keep me company. And I also I think it's just safer, right? It's safer to hike with an animal, with a dog. I don't know, I just would feel so much safer hiking with a dog. We had a Saint Bernard when I was little. I was sad one day and crying and talking. Uh, there was a little tear that ran down her face. Oh, no. My first memories were wanting a white standard poodle. This will be my second. Really? Aw, my last poodle was my soul dog. I lost her 5 years ago. Aw. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, boobs. You want a poodle. Poodles are so cute. They're so cute. I've always wanted a poodle, but they're very high maintenance, aren't they? I don't know. I've always believed that poodles were a little high maintenance, but I've always wanted one because they're just so adorable. Yeah, get a mountain lion. I already have one. Her name is Gia. She is the protector of this home. She is the only one. I have 3 cats, Mr. Butters, Elliot, and Gia, and the 2 boys are the biggest scaredy cats. Literally. They're the biggest scaredy cats. When there's a cat or something else, like, walking outside, Gia is the first one to growl, right? Because my cat growls. She goes, "Mm." And so that's how I know that something crazy is happening. So when I had the shaking, right, when my whole entire room was shaking and I was making that video, I heard Gia first. She's like, "Mm." And then I'm like, "Oh, hold on." And she jumped off and ran off. Um, and so sometimes when I'm sleeping by myself and I'm just kind of like hanging out, I will hear Gia when she's far away and I hear her go, "Mm." And so that's when I know, oh shit, what's going on? And I go outside and there's probably like a cat or like a squirrel or something. But she's the one that will protect this home. She's definitely the protector. My two other cats, they don't care. They're like, "Oh my god, no." And they run away. They are high maintenance, yeah, very high maintenance, very intelligent, trainable and protective. Nothing more humbling for a man to be punked by a giant white poodle. Yes. Yes. Imagine being punked by a poodle. I love it though. I love that they're so protective. I want one. Oh no. Am I gonna get one now? I have to I need discipline. And so that's why I don't walk into shelters anymore, because if I walk into an animal shelter, I'm gonna get an animal. That's how I ended up with 3 cats. And so I knew that I could not keep getting cats. Hey, Vicnoid, welcome. How's it going? Yeah, I needed to stop myself. So if I walk into an animal shelter and I see either a cat or a dog that I want, I might get it. And so I just refrain from going to the animal shelter because animals are my weakness, you guys. I don't know if you guys noticed, but animals are my weakness. I absolutely adore animals, all of them. Hold on, let me think. Like, all of them? Hmm. Yeah, I think all of them, except for like, I don't know, maybe some insects I'm not really fans of, but I love all animals. I grew up with a lot of animals. Aw, smart survival. My cat is watching you with me now. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. My girl cat brought me a dead bird this morning, her fourth one. Aw, Corina. Yeah, I keep my cats inside. They've never been outdoor cats. I'm just really overprotective of them, but I also want to protect birds. Cats murder so many birds every year. Um, it's just who they are, they're little predators. I love it. I love that I have, 3 little predators in my home, and I just grab them and kiss their bellies. It's a mutual trust and respect. This is what I really love about cats is if you really earn the love and respect of a cat, it is the most rewarding feeling, I think. Dogs are the same too, right? But I think dogs are more people pleasers than cats are. Cats are a lot more independent. They want their boundaries. And so once you've learned the boundaries and the respect of a cat and you have that mutual respect for one another, it is so rewarding that I can grab my cat, literally a cat that can bite me or scratch and gouge my eyes out. I can grab them and just go and nothing happens. And it's a mutual respect, right? She knows that I'm not going to, disembowel her. And I know that she's not gonna gouge my eyes out. So so nice. It's just such a rewarding feeling. I love it. I love being a cat mom. Cat mom. Yeah, yeah. It's not safe for him outside. Yeah, that's why I'm super overprotective. When I go out with my cats, I have to be outside with them. I'm just like, "No, don't go there. No. No, baby, come here." I'm just crazy. Yeah, baby rabbits, chipmunks. I used to have birds. Growing up, I had a bird. His name was Derek. He was very well trained. I trained him too. And I would just put my finger out on the cage and he would jump out and I would put him on my shoulder. I would take him to school. So it was when I was in high school. I took my bird Derek to school. I was a senior. And yeah, I would bring him to school with me. Then I joined the Marine Corps and unfortunately I had to leave him behind with my parents. And then he passed away. Yeah. Oh, Derek. He was so cute. He was a cockatiel, I think. I respect cats' independence and boundaries. I love dogs, and I learn from them, but I learn different things from cats. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. You learn something from each. Now I have a one old Tennessee Walker Cavalry horse that just hangs at Amish and eats. I don't even go see him. Makes me cry. Oh, oh, Lisa. Am I originally from Colorado? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not from Colorado. I'm originally from LA. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm a transplant. I'm a Colorado transplant. I'm what the native Colorado people hate. But I don't know. I've been here now for 5 years. 5 years? No, 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. Oh my goodness. COVID. I moved out here during COVID. It's been 6 years, so I don't think I'm a transplant anymore. I'm a resident, right? I vote. I vote here. So, but yeah, I'm originally from LA. Really, Jay Coverload, you grew up with 20 cockatiels. Oh, they're so adorable, aren't they? They're so smart. Yeah, exactly. LA woman. Where's LA woman at? Aw, my cockatiel flew away when I forgot to clip its wings. Oh, that's sad. See, I used to clip the wings of Derek too until he was just so trained, I guess, or maybe he just didn't even wanna fly away anymore, that I stopped clipping his wings and he never flew. He never flew away. No, I don't. Oops. No, I don't. Local, no. I'll probably get jumped. No. The native Colorado people are gonna be like, you don't sound like you're from Colorado." Oh, no way, really, Boops? Wait, really? And then you moved back south a year later. Oh, a year later. Where in Colorado were you? Yeah, Tommy's girl, I agree with you. Animals are never mean, that's why most women choose the bear. Yes. Except not Bear from Obsession, please don't choose him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't have him with a cat anymore. Oh, yeah, parakeets are the best too. Oh, the turquoise budgie. Oh, those are so cute. They're just so sweet. Budgies are so sweet. They're such cute little animals. Oh, chickens are good too. If you guys have never had chickens as pets, I recommend it. Chickens are some of the best pets. They make oh god, they're so smart and really really fun. Um, I grew up in I grew up going to walking horse shows here in Tennessee. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I've always wanted to do something like that. I wanna go to, like, I don't know, I just wanna hang out with horses. Horses are really good for your mental health, is what I heard and read about. I mean, right, just like any other animal, but, connecting with a horse is on a different level. Mm, that's why. See, that's why you moved back after a year, Boops, because you were in Aspen. Oh my goodness. Mm, yeah, lots of skiing accidents in Colorado. A lot of people hit trees. When you ski here, there's so many trees that people hit. A lot of my friends and, coworkers that I've had have been in these very just terrible accidents, ski accidents. And it's because they hit a tree or I don't know, the snow kind of like there's like a hole or something or like a crevasse and they kind of just fall in. But it's so scary. I don't ski. I do not ski. I will do winter 14ers, but I do not ski. Although winter 14ers are also very dangerous. Aw. Yeah, peacocks are awesome too. Yeah. Exactly. Tommy's girl, I agree with you. I think I would also get attached to a horse. I've always wanted a horse. Oh man. I love that we all love animals, you guys. They hit trees, they hit each other, they fall in tree wells. Yes, 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 they fall off cliffs. Yep. Yes, the tree wells are so dangerous. So many people die falling into tree wells. It's so dangerous. I don't do any of that. At my age, I'm not gonna be doing any of that. When you're in your 30s and you break a bone, it's gonna take longer to heal. So I'm done with all that stuff. I no longer do crazy stuff like that. I've jumped out of planes, I've gone skydiving, I've done a lot of crazy stuff. And that's when I was younger, when I didn't think that I could die, right? Isn't that crazy? When you're young, you don't think that you can ever die. I don't know if you guys ever felt that way, but I did. I did so many crazy things when I was in the Marines. I even oh my goodness. This was so this was so dumb, the thing that I did. It was so dangerous, and even now I think about it, and I wonder how I survived. I swam. So, I was stationed on Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. It's called K-Bay, and right off of the base, like, right outside, there's this beach, and at the beach, there's, like, a distance to swim to an island. I don't know why, but I saw the little island, and I'm like, "Oh, I can swim that. That's easy." I don't know what I was thinking. I was 23 at the time, and I just got in the water and I started swimming towards the island. I'm swimming towards the island, and halfway there, I realized, "Holy shit, this island is way farther than I thought it was." Right? From land, the island does not seem that far, but once you're in the water and the waves are hitting you and you're swimming and you're exhausted, you realize, "Holy shit, this island is not even close." So that's when I decided to turn back. When I turned back, swimming, I'm kinda, like, swimming back, swimming back. I noticed I ended up getting a Charlie horse on my leg, and so that was the first thing that I knew. I'm like, "I fucked up. I should not I can't be doing this right now." Luckily, though, luckily, I had another one of my buddies who was in the water near me, and so when I ended up getting the Charlie horse and I was kind of like trying to swim back to shore, he came over and he's like, "What the fuck?" So then he's like, "Hey, you need help?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay." And he's like, "All right, I'm just gonna swim right next to you then." And then we swam back to shore together. So, it's one of the other good experiences that I had. I almost did it to myself, right? But then I had a friend who helped me get back to shore. But now that I think about it, I'm like, this is so stupid. I can't believe I did that. Because one, I could have drowned, or two, I could have gotten eaten, right? I could have been eaten by a shark. Because there's sharks, right? There's sharks in that warm water in Hawaii. They're everywhere. So I survived a fucking shark attack, probably, or I could have drowned. But I did a lot of stupid things when I was in the Marines because I was young and I'm like, I'm never gonna die. I'm 23. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did that. Oh, no, I didn't nearly die. I could have, but I didn't. Oh, my goodness. It was so scary. But yeah. Yeah, he was a good buddy. Yes. He's a good buddy. He helped me out, so I love it. Oh, Jay Coverload, your daughter was in the Air Force. Nice. That's really cool. She jumped out of planes on purpose. Yeah. Jumping out of planes is not as dangerous as it seems. Once you get it, once you know what you're doing, it's not that unsafe. You just got to make sure not to, get too complacent. Once you guys start getting complacent, that's when accidents happen. When you stop checking, you stop checking the safety, you skip certain things. Um, it's always good to jump out of planes as if it's your first time, every single time. Even if you've done it 500 times, pretend it is your first time because people get complacent and that's when people end up jumping without parachutes. It's crazy. But yeah. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, um but yeah, I think yeah, that's it for today, you guys. I'm gonna take Gia out for some catnip because she just jumped off, and I can tell that she's getting a little like fidgety. Yeah, she's here. She's waiting for me. I wish I could show you guys. Here, maybe I can. I'll show you guys with this video. Yeah, she's getting a little fidgety. I think she wants to go outside now. She just jumped off, but she's just cleaning herself. Oh, my little baby. My baby. She spends, you know, she's here with me all the time. Oh, you guys can't even see it. You guys see that? Yeah, that's her just cleaning herself. But yeah, anytime that I'm here, if I'm either I'm filming or live streaming or doing research or hanging out on Discord, she's always here. She is my shadow. I can't go anywhere without Gia following me. If I for example, I'll come here, I'll get ready for my live stream and I'm like, "Oh shit, I don't have water." And I'm like, "Okay, let me go get water." And I'm like, "Gia, just stay real quick. I'm just going to go get water real quick." And she's like, "Meh," and she follows me. If I'm going to the bathroom, she follows me. She's she's my baby. She's my baby. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. This was fun. This was different. I'm glad that we got to talk to one another and share experiences and talk about, the military and relationships and movies. God, we talked about everything, didn't we? This was fun. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you for spending the Friday afternoon with me. Are you able to film? Yes, I will. I will definitely film her after. Yeah. When I'm done, I'll film her because she's ready. Look, she's fidgety. You're ready, aren't you? Mabashidas. Oh, babe. Yeah. Yeah. We're ready to go. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for everything. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great weekend, you guys. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for our other channel, Rabbit Hole Rocks. Love you guys. Yes, yes, yes. Please, if you like this live stream, even though we were just bullshitting, talking, chatting, if you like it though, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if this is your first time ever watching one of my live streams, and please comment, share, hype, all the good stuff. Yeah, thank you guys so much. All right, guys, take care. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, have a great weekend.